Welcome to Read Along Kids!
Hey there, Aloud kids. Welcome back to another amazing adventure. Today's story is called Albert the Muffin Maker. Albert was rummaging in the kitchen cupboard. "What are you looking for?" his sister Wanda asked. "Flour," Albert said. "I'm making muffins by myself." "We're out of flour," Wanda said. "But flour is the first ingredient." Albert showed her the recipe. "I can't make muffins without flour." Sometimes when Mom runs out of ingredients, she asks the neighbors if they have any to share, Wanda said. "Great idea!" Albert grabbed a cup and headed out. Mrs. Nibble opened her door with a big smile. "Flour?" she said. "Of course." "It's nice of you to share," Albert said. Albert poured the flour into a big bowl. Then he looked at his recipe again. Second ingredient, oatmeal. Wanda glanced up from her puzzle. "Oatmeal? I finished it at breakfast." "Not a problem," Albert said. Mrs. Nibble's smile wasn't quite as big this time, but she filled Albert's cup with oatmeal. The third and fourth ingredients were baking powder and salt, but they were on the top shelf, too high for him to reach. Albert had to ring Mrs. Nibble's doorbell twice. "Albert," Wanda said when he came back, "you can't get all of your ingredients from Mrs. Nibble." "Mom always says it's nice to share," Albert said. "Sharing is nice," Wanda agreed, "but Mrs. Nibbles has already shared enough." The fifth ingredient was cinnamon. Albert couldn't see it in the cupboard. This time he didn't go to Mrs. Nibbles. He went to Mr. Squeak, their neighbor on the other side. The sixth ingredient, a walnut. Albert got it from his friend Leo. The Mousely triplets gave him the seventh ingredient, honey. And the eighth came from Rachel and her brother Ronald. "Careful not to spill that oil," Ronald warned. Albert was stirring in the ninth ingredient when Wanda walked into the kitchen. "I didn't know we had applesauce," she said. "Oh, we didn't," Albert said. "I borrowed some from Cousin Pete." "Where did you get the rest of these ingredients?" Wanda asked. "Ronald and Rachel, the Moosleys, Leo, and Mr. Squeak," Albert said. "I told them all how nice it is to share." Wanda just shook her head. Albert checked his recipe again. The 10th and last ingredient was milk. He opened the fridge. Uh-oh. Wanda stopped him as he headed for the door. "Albert, please don't ask for anything from any other mice." "Don't worry," he said. "I won't." "Albert, where are you going?" Wanda hurried after him. In the people kitchen, somebody had just set down a fresh bowl of milk for the cat. Albert dashed out and filled his bottle. "Thanks for sharing," he squeaked as he scampered off. "Albert!" Wanda gasped as he scurried back to safety. "You told me not to get it from a mouse," he pointed out. "Anyway, I heard milk gives cat a bellyache, so he should be happy to share." Albert spooned the muffin batter into tins. "I did it," he said. "I made the whole recipe." "But," Wanda smiled, "I know, you're not allowed to use the oven yet." She turned it on and slid the muffins in to bake. Albert played with his blocks while he waited. Soon Wanda came in carrying a basket. "The muffins are ready," Wanda said. "Let's go." "Go?" Albert said. "Go where?" Wanda knocked on Mrs. Nibble's door. "We brought you the first muffin," Wanda said. Mrs. Nibble broke into a giant smile. "It's nice of you to share." Wanda gave the second muffin to Mr. Squeak. Leo stuffed the third muffin into his mouth and gave them a paws up. The Mousely triplets gobbled up the fourth, fifth, and sixth muffins for their snack. Rachel and Ronald took the seventh and eighth muffins. Ronald told Rachel, "Watch those crumbs." And the ninth muffin went to Cousin Pete. Albert peered into the basket. There was just one muffin left. "Are we done sharing now?" he asked. "Not quite," Wanda said. "We have one more stop." "The People's Kitchen," Albert asked. "But Wanda rolled the 10th muffin across the floor, and the cat pounced. "Now we're done," Wanda said. As they walked into the kitchen, Albert's whiskers twitched. "It still smells like muffins," he said sadly. Wanda smiled. "Of course it does." Wanda set the 11th and 12th muffins on 2 plates. "Wasn't it nice to share with our friends?" she asked. "Yes, it was," Albert said, taking a big bite. And you know what else is nice? Sharing the last 2 muffins with you." The end. Thanks for listening, Read Along Kids. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more great read-along fun. Until next time, bye-bye.